What's going on, guys? Boostnificent. So I was going to do a video on the 5 things I hate about my Foxbody, but after my last video, I've kind of knocked one of those off the list. So instead, today we're going to go over the top 5 favorite mods I've done to my car. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to go a little bit in reverse of how I did it last time. So last time I told you my favorite thing. This time I'm going to tell you my 5th favorite thing and then go to number 1, which would be my favorite thing. So 5th favorite thing that I've done to my car so far is the headlights. I got SVE crystal clear headlight housings in the car. These give the car, like, I would say it makes it look about 10 years newer. It's insane what the headlights do for a car. It's like, you ever been like searching Facebook Marketplace and then you see like an old Foxbody, for example, and it's got like super milky looking headlights. It makes the car look a lot worse. I'd like to do a social experiment on this. I guarantee you, if you threw a set of headlights in a car and posted it for $1,500 more, I can almost guarantee you'd make the sale every time. It's something about the headlights in a car. If they look milky or like they're sun faded or anything like that, it changes the look of the car completely. Same thing goes for the taillights. If you have a busted taillight, or they're all sun faded and they look like shit, if you would just put a nice set of headlights or taillights in a car, you would be surprised how much it could bring the resale value of the car up. So that's my number 5 favorite mod that I've done in my car so far, is the headlights. So number 4 top mod is the speakers. So my speakers are not backed up by an amp or anything like that. A vast improvement over what was in the car whenever I purchased it. So whenever I first purchased the car, it still had the factory forward speakers from 1992 in it. And man, both of the 3.5s up front were blown. One of the, I think there's 6.5s in the door. I think one of those was blown. They were still the old paper speakers. I don't even know what you'd call that part of the speaker. I put 3.5 JBLs in the dash and then 6.5s in the doors. I have not done the 6x9s in the rear just yet. I'd like to back them up by an amp and really get some sound out of it. I don't really know how I feel about doing subwoofers in a notchback. It would be kind of difficult, I would think. I know the Infamous Project has thrown a set of 12s in a notchback, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about subwoofers. We'll see. So my number 3 favorite thing that I've done to my car so far is the wheels. I know I've already mentioned that in the top 5 things I love, but I just cannot get over how good these wheels look on this car. I might dive into the specs and tell you all everything as far as tire size, aspect ratio, everything like that. So that way, if you maybe wanted to put your car on a set of these wheels, what a tire size looks like on these wheels. So let's do that. So this is a 17x9 up front with a 235/45 ZR17. So I love the aspect ratio of this tire to this wheel. The same thing goes for the rear. So the rear looks killer. I absolutely love the way that the rear looks, but I think this size fits well with the rear is what I'm getting at. It looks proportional front and back. Like I said, these are a 235/45 ZR17. So for the rear wheel setup, this is a 17x10.5 with a 275/40 ZR17. So like I said, I just can't get over the aspect ratio. It's just like the perfect amount of wheel and the perfect amount of tire, and it just looks really, really good on this car. So I'm sure y'all may have noticed that the ass end of this car is super, super wide. So this car has a SN95 rear end under it. So it's got an SN95 rear and SN95 axles in it. But basically what that means is the ass end track is way wider than a Foxbody. A normal Fox length axle would be. The reason for that is whenever I did the 5-lug swap, I just completely took the rear end out of the SN95, tossed it under this car, mounted the wheels, and called it good. Little did I know that, so anytime I flex the chassis it cuts my tire pretty bad. So I would recommend putting Fox axles in a rear end if you're gonna swap it. Do not put SN95 axles in there. I'm gonna try and combat that just a little bit. I'm gonna try rolling my fenders, because this is a pretty stock car. These fenders have not been rolled. So I bought an Eastwood fender roller, so I'm gonna roll the fenders and see if that does anything for it. If not, then I'll throw a set of Fox length axles in it and call it good. But if I was gonna start it all over again, I'd have just bought Fox length axles and thrown them in my original rear end and been done with it. So my number 2 favorite mod that I've done to this car is the brakes. So this car originally had a 4-lug, obviously, 4-lug drilled and slotted rotors up front. I was actually kind of surprised by that somebody actually spent money on a 4-lug drilled and slotted rotors. Anyway, so it originally had drilled and slotted rotors up front, which I actually didn't know. One of my friends actually told me about it. Didn't really pay that much attention. I planned on doing the brakes anyway. So I ended up putting 13-inch Cobra drilled and slotted rotors up front with SVE Cobra calipers. Oh my gosh, the car stops on a dime now. Vast improvement over the stock Foxbody brakes. The 13-inch drilled and slotted rotors with the Cobra calipers is the only way to go on a stock Foxbody, in my opinion. So got those from LMR. This is just a complete side note of the testament of how good LMR is about customer service. So I'd had those for months before I ever commenced my 5-lug swap. Get around to the time of doing my 5-lug swap and open the boxes for the brakes. They sent me two passenger side calipers because the bleeder valve was on the same side. So if I put one caliper on one side, it was correct. Put the other caliper on the other side, it was on the bottom like it's not supposed to be. So they returned the wrong caliper and sent me out a new one free of charge, and it was so seamless, so easy. Cannot commend LMR more about how they do business. It's just the way they do business is ideal for consumers like me, consumers like you. They are a tremendous business, and I will forever use it. So my number one favorite mod that I've done to my car so far is the Holly. The Holly was very much needed. So whenever I first got the car, I know I reference me first getting my car a lot, but it's what's, making the building blocks of this build. Everything that I didn't like about my car whenever I first got it, I'm now changing. So when I first got my car, this thing ran insanely rich. Okay, looked like a diesel whenever you revved it. Like big puffs of black smoke from underneath the car whenever you revved it. It was terrible. Like you couldn't even sit at like a stoplight with the windows down for too long because you'd be sitting there like rubbing your eyes because it was burning. Chased that problem for like a few weeks trying to figure out what was wrong with it. So I did things like I changed the coolant temp sensor, changed the fuel pressure regulator, tried a number of different things. Tried doing a base auto reset like Brutal tells you to do. Tried doing everything to fix this rich problem. Could not figure out what was wrong. So ended up narrowing it down to the computer was bad. I'm pretty sure that's what was wrong because I can't think of any other reason why the car would have been running as rich as it was. One other thing that I found whenever I started digging into the car a little bit, installing the Holly actually, was this car had a set of 19-pound injectors in it, which it should not have been running as rich as it was on 19-pound injectors, first and foremost. I looked up the part number. It was an Amazon fuel injector. Like, who puts a set of Amazon fuel injectors in anything? Why would you do that? Especially a car that you're trying to get performance out of. Like, why do you think that Amazon injectors are the way to go? That's just asinine to me. So yeah, Amazon injectors were what was in it whenever I got it, which just absolutely blew my mind. I could not believe that. So whenever I did the Holly, I upgraded injectors at the same time. I upgraded to 24-pound EV1 injectors. The Holly harness uses EV1 connectors, so I upgraded to 24 pounds whenever I did that. They are A-cell 24-pound, just regular old fuel injector. The install of the Holly, I really wish I had filmed that because I really would love to, help people learn how to do something like that. If y'all wanted me to, I could make a video going over what to do whenever you install it. So let me know if that's something y'all would like to see. All right, so I gave a bonus on the last one. I'm gonna give a bonus on this one. I'm sure you guys already know what it is. You can probably tell. You look at my sunglasses. Number 6 top favorite mod I've done to my car is the interior. I've been driving the car for probably about a week now, and man, I just, every time I get in the car, I've got a smile on my face. It just completely changes the feel of the car. Going from such a light color on the inside to, just straight black. Like in the mornings, it's typically dark whenever I'm going to work, and it's just so dark in there. I don't know. It's just something about the interior. It completely changes the feel of the car. I know you guys can't smell it, but it smells amazing in there. So like brand new carpet, brand new seats. It just, I love it. Love it so much. So there you guys go. There's my top 5 plus 1 favorite mods I've done to my car so far. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you next time.